in Guava, but you grew up, I'm St. Lucian and black, have one passport. Yeah, you St. Lucian, you do it Guava?
I do it Guava.
Guava made a part of our daily diet.
That's right. Especially
as children growing up.
Especially when school closed.
You know, and you come in and tell me, oh, you know these
when
things.
School
but
closes.
So, being an ordinary person, being who I am, I grew up in a home where my father taught us, you don't have, I don't provide for you, you don't ask.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Minister, that I wanted to ask for a long time. The attacks are coming in from all areas of the Labour Party and the operatives. Are you sensing the attacks to be of jealousy, of performance, or just laid down guide Joseph?
I believe the attacks are first of all racist because I'm Indian.
Really?
Yes.
But we never have that type of behavior in St. Lucia.
From the Labour Party. So you look at the clipping that's circulating with Tom Walcott, saying that little coolie boy from Forest.
Yes.
You remember the statements made by Kenny in the House about me being like Chastney's poodle?
Yes.
Now, you see, I'm bigger than these fellas. I'm not bigger than them in size.
Yes.
I'm bigger than them in my thinking, my reasoning. So what they say don't faze me. Because I don't have low self-esteem.
That's it.
Okay? I'm a positive person. So what people try, anytime somebody try to put me down, I use what they try to put me down with to rise above the situation. So it was like the story with the donkey that was, the owner threw the donkey into a pit because wanted to get rid of the donkey and asked the people in the community to throw the garbage on the donkey. And every day, everybody took their garbage and threw it on the donkey. But what the donkey did was shake off the garbage, and eventually the pit that the donkey was in was filled up with the garbage, and then the donkey was able to walk out of the pit.
That's right.
You see, so every time I get attacked, and none of the attacks can be substantiated.
None.
Richard Frederick, of all persons, will come and say, so the things he said about Kenny Anthony, was it true?
Okay.
And was it, if it was true, then why are they together on the same team today? The things Kenny Anthony said about Richard Frederick, is it true? And why are they on the same team today? So who are the fools? It's the people who listen to them. Now, if I'd done anything illegal in government, you don't think the Labour Party would have taken me to court?
Oh yeah, of course. They took Sir John to court for 30,000. So
for a drain that is still in the bank.
That is still there.
So, take what they took Ezekiel to court. They took PM to court for things, bogus cases. Things that are non-existent. They've tried everything to get me. They couldn't take me to court in St. Lucia, but they tell you the US have me in court. And I heard the boy, I heard the little boy say, I can't go to the US. You put me in your bracket. I don't go to the US because I chose not to go to the US now because of the situation with COVID.
Exactly.
And I believe that the needs of my constituency now outweighs the opportunity that I have. So I want to tell you something. You think I don't have a visa? In August, I'm going to the US.
Oh, you're giving
so let's see if they'll pick me up when I go up there.
Yes.
If they want me so much, they should be able to pick me up when I get up there. You see, but these are the lies that make up. Now, anytime people begin to tell lies, is because they don't have a story to tell. They don't have a track record of performance. So I was saying to you, Champagne, with me, I don't go and take money from people to run elections, and after elections I owe these people, and I cannot take care of the people who vote for me. None of them can tell you that I did not perform in my constituency.
That is for sure.
Everywhere they go, even the Labour Party supporters, one of them tell me, Flabo going to lose 16-1, but you'll win your seat.
so that says a lot.
Now, I met a fella, he's a branch member, he's of the Labour Party, he's from my community. He tell me, boy, you know it's one thing, as much as you know there are two sides, I can't be on your side.
Yeah.
But we can't fault you for the work that you have done. Nobody can say you have not worked in your constituency.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
So I've worked in my constituency. I have worked in my ministry. These are the things your constituents elect you to represent them and to look after their interests.
Yeah.
The Prime Minister selects you to serve in his cabinet, to perform as a minister. So I've performed as a minister, and I've performed as a parliamentarian. What else is required of me? That's why the people elect you. For that matter, the Labour Party says, I've done too much work. So, they were talking about CDP projects. I want to challenge them to show me one time they wrote to me for projects in their constituencies.
Yeah, because you would have the records.
There's a process.
Yes.
Now they can go and write a letter and backdate it and send it. But I know the record in my ministry can show that we did not receive any letters from them. And I'm not hidden, you know. When I came into government, I said for 5 years you all didn't do projects for me. So it's my turn to do projects in my constituency for my people. I don't hide these things, you know. That's why I tell you, sometimes people have a difficulty dealing with the truth. The fact of the matter is Prime Minister Alan Chastney has performed beyond what was expected of a Prime Minister during this term in government. Under the most trying circumstances, he has performed. I was not able to do projects through my own doings. I was able to perform in my ministry and my constituency because the Minister of Finance was able to make the resources available to be able to, because projects are not done without the funding.
That is true.
And the funding does not grow on trees. And we don't print money in St. Lucia.
No, we don't.
So Prime Minister Alan Chastney has done the most remarkable job in finding resources for every member of his government to execute projects in the constituencies that they represented. I want Kenny Anthony and Philip J. Pierre to say the same about their term in government. Because that is what the election boils down to. I'm not here about emotion. I can say, Honorable Stephenson King did more work in his constituency during these 5 years in government than when he was Prime Minister of this country. How was that possible? He is not the Minister of Finance in this government. He is not the one who made the resources available to himself. It is Prime Minister Alan Chastney that made the resources available. Go and look at the roads in Castries North today. Almost every road is like a highway in Castries North today. Through whose effort? Through the effort of the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, who made resources available to all of his ministers to execute projects that their constituencies needed. That's not performance. If that is not performance, then what is performance? as the minister, you have the biggest projects being implemented. The biggest budget was the budget of infrastructure. The biggest projects. If you look at St. Jude pales in comparison with HIA. St. Jude pales in comparison to the money that is spent on the road network in this country.
So that's where what we're hearing on the ground. I'm happy that you went down that road. I'm not here to. So we're hearing, and that's what we're hearing on the ground. While Stevenson King is the Minister of Infrastructure, we are hearing Guy Joseph is the one that executes. So tell Sanusha that is in the world that is not so.
But how can I execute?
That's what I always ask myself.
How can I execute projects in his ministry?
Another ministry. That's what I always ask myself.
Huh?
And other people.
Let me tell you, Champagne, if Guy Joseph can do all the things that they have credited Guy Joseph to do, then Labour Party should never see a day in office in this country again. Because if one man can do all of that, can you imagine if all 17 people of the United Workers' Party would do half of that, where this country would be?
Exactly.
I mean, they make me superhuman. I mean, I used to have a bus and on it was Super Guy.
Yeah, I remember that bus, Super Guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I saw, but not Superman.
Yeah.
But to say that, I mean, it's laughable. It says so much about people. I will be minister and somebody else will run my ministry.
Yeah. I couldn't understand it. It didn't make any sense. It didn't make no sense.
Let me tell you something. I stamp my authority when I am in charge.
Yes.
You see, I tell the people, is either I'm in charge or I'm not in charge. You just seen people, one day, public service just send somebody to act in my ministry for a little while. And then, when the person came to act, a receptionist, made appointments for me, set up meetings, people showing up at my ministry. My secretary know nothing about that. They have meeting scheduled with me at that time. I don't know anything about that. You see, now, I called the Ministry of the Public Service and I said, look here, if you're going to send people to, if I'm in charge of a ministry and you're going to send people to work there, then my ministry is owed the courtesy for the permanent secretary or my secretary to know. You don't just send people and work there, and when my ministry does not perform, you will come and tell me, oh, your ministry is not meeting its obligations. No, nobody gives me a 649. I stamp my feet and I say, no, that's not going to happen.
Right.
I put my feet down in my ministry.
It is true. You're the one in charge. You're the minister. The blame will go to you if something goes wrong.
So, people have a problem with that. But I don't ask workers in the ministry to work, and I don't work, They see the hours that I put in. They see the time that I put in. They see when they need me, that I make myself available to address the issues and the concerns. In my ministry, the cleaners can walk into my office and knock the door any day. Minister, we have this problem, whether it be personal or whether it be work related. My doors are not closed to any staff member in the ministry. When I was Minister of Communications and Works at Union, when some of the staff came into my office, they said, we've been working in this building for 5, 6, 7 years. That's the first time we've seen inside the minister's office what it looks like when you became minister. I never use back door champagne.
I know.
I don't go into my ministry through the back door. I always go through the front door.
Just like when you travel at the airport, I could tell you, he never goes to the VIP. Never does. I'm the one that carries his luggage all of the time. Comes through customs, puts his luggage on the desk if they ask him to put it, and goes never goes into VIP.
If
When he
they
leaves,
open my
never-
luggage, they open. I don't have nothing
I
to
can
hide.
tell you that.
I leave. So I remember I was highlighting why it is
Yes.
difficult for me to ask people.
Mhm.
I can tell you, there are people who would come to me and ask me. The other thing, I always tell my wife, when we are at home and anybody is there, and I say, put food for the person. Now, she would say, I know what it's like when I go to somebody's home and I don't want to eat because I've eaten, and they just give me a plate of food. It's hard for me to say no. So ask the person. I said, no. My parents taught us, you never ask people if they want. You give them
just offer, yeah.
and let them refuse. So I cannot, because even if I'm hungry and you ask me if I want, my answer most likely will be no. Whereas if so, I gauge things on, that's who I am. So I learn, if somebody come and ask me, do you want that? Most likely my answer would be no. If you give it to me, that's a different situation.
Now we're talking about the attacks, and I could not help myself because I'm so pleased that you came here. I did not know you were coming. Mr. Raymond, who is a friend of mine, I know the gentleman very well, know him a long time. I heard that he appeared on a program yesterday on NBC, and you were leveled. You were leveled, and it got to the point, I didn't watch the program. Persons that are very close to me told me you were leveled to the extent that a conversation was said that you were supposed to be in jail. And that didn't sit well with me when the individual told me. I did not there, so if I'm saying something that was not said, I apologize. But that the individual told me that was said, and that did not go. I know Mr. Raymond very well. That did not sit well with me.
I saw a post by a gentleman, well, I don't know if he's a gentleman, who had been in jail, and he said he would be happy to escort me in and to be able to give me a tour.
I mean, when somebody makes a statement like
No,
that,
because he's been there.
is that right?
Yes. The one who wants to give me the tour, he's been there, so I assume he had his tour already. But, Champagne, these things don't faze me.
I know it doesn't. I know.
I mean, I tell these people, yes, people go to jail innocently, but not that easily. You know, a fella tell me, nobody goes to jail or nobody gets charged in court innocently. I said, no man, people get charged innocently. He said, well, the day they bring you to court, you may have been innocent on that particular case. But if you go to jail, it's for other things you have done that they have never caught you.
So you bring the hammer down on you. Yeah.
Because all of us have been guilty of something
yeah.
at some point in time.
Yeah.
But you know how many times I've told you, Champagne, I love my freedom. I don't like loans. I've always said that. I don't like to owe people. I could have been a lot further in my life.
Yes.
It's because I try to do more things with cash
Yes.
than I try to do with loans. But I don't want to talk about these people because
I understand. I
as far as I'm
just thought
concerned,
it was not a good taste for me when the person told me.
Ubaldas is a very unstable individual. In a short period of time, you move from being a candidate of Labour to being in UWP. You went and served a stint overseas. You couldn't keep your job. You came back. You couldn't stay in UWP. It's not me that got rid of you in government. It's your doings. So, if you had not done what you did in Trinidad, and you had not done what you did on social media, and you were in government, you'd be singing a different song. Now, you see, that's the difference with me. I have information about these fellas that I can talk about.
Yeah.
But that's not my style.
Right.
Because I've never had a girlfriend and I bad talk them after we break up.
Yeah. That's principle right there. That's class. That's character.
I know things about Dr. Kenny Anthony that I will never say conversation because we're on different sides of the political divide today. When you say certain things about people, it says more about you than it says about the person you know.
Yeah.
So, I will waste my time and talk about Ubaldus. Is what Ubaldus exposed that exposed him, you know.
It's a fact.
It's not me.
It's a fact.
I mean,
It's a fact.
these fellas do their things,
Yeah.
and as if they're not responsible for what they did at all. And then you want to come and make it look like you are a victim and somebody did you something. You did yourself. And not in one way you did yourself. Huh? You are doing yourself in more than one ways.
Yeah.
You know, and then you all want to come and you want to look at other people. Now, you know why I can take the liberty to speak about that? Because, let me give you a little story, a true story.
Yeah.
When I heard the situation about the photos and the videos and everything, my colleague in cabinet, I called him in a room separately because I got the news from the Sunday. And we went to cabinet on Monday. Because the news came to me because, first of all, they said it was the two of us that they had photos of. So I called him and I told him, I heard a report about such and such a situation, about photos and whatever, and it's going to be released. And I heard it's the two of us. So I'm telling you, I don't have nothing like that to worry about. But if you know there's anything, the look and the expression on his face, I knew there was something.
Yeah.
I mean, we are two men.
Exactly,
We having a conversation. So, because I'm there laughing and joking about it. Because I tell them the closest to that type of picture that I had was one time I was on holidays in the US with my wife. And then they were swearing in the government in Turks. The lady had just won the election. The PM called me and tell me, since I'm in Miami already, can I just go over there and represent the government?
Right.
Imagine, it was my wedding anniversary, I think. That was it. So we went across there, my wife and myself. And one of the days we were on the beach. I had a free-quarter shorts on me.
Right.
And my wife took a picture with me with my free-quarter shorts on. That's the closest. That's the picture that I had on my phone. So, so I'm laughing and I'm joking about the whole thing. So you go and do your thing. You expose yourself. You showed off yourself for whatever reason. You didn't learn a lesson from that. You go to Trinidad. You do more things in Trinidad. And you come back. And then you want to come and attack me today and say, I should be in jail.
Yeah, can you believe it?
I should be in jail for writing a letter, as if I don't know letters that you wrote that the PM had to pull back and tell you you don't have that kind of authority to write these letters. Now, these are the things that I choose not to go into because I'm not the kind of person who, if is somebody of relevance, I talk to them.
Yeah.
You saw the report circulating, what he had to say about Steve and what Steve had to say about him.
Well, the person told me yesterday, he said that Steve had been there for him from day one.
Champagne, I will never, ever say that Steve was not there for him. If a man is comfortable to come out and say that,
yes,
and his conscience is good with him, then let him say it. I don't think I ever saw King as a minister treat him badly, even if he was an opponent. So I I tell these fellas, I don't have time to lie. And if I go to come on a program like this and tell a lie about somebody for something that, you know, when I tell them there's a principle in what goes on. The measure that you use for other people will be measured back to you.
Yeah.
Gwamun ka di même bâton qui bat chien blanc, c'est même là qui bat chien noir. So people have to show themselves. You cannot remain, you can pretend for a period of time. And if I'm pretending, the time will come when I will be exposed. I don't have to be afraid. That's a natural rule in life. What goes around comes around. So when these fellas, so going back to Ubaldas want to talk about Guy Joseph. Really? So what case do I have with Ubaldas? Now, if I come here and I say all the things Ubaldas came to me for, to try and do and assist, then they'll tell you, you can be trusted. So I can be trusted. So I will choose not to say that.
Okay. As the character of the man. Okay.
But your action speaks for itself, you know, brother man.
And I admire you, Mr. Minister. Even if someone is considering you to be in prison, you have stuff that you can expose and you choose not to. I have to ring the bell on that.
I know enough things about the little boy that I can say that I choose not to. Because like I said, we don't speak out of convenience. And all the attacks that I've heard on me, I'm putting them on notice. You see this airport saga and what happened? This is as much as I will say about this for now. And I await those who are in charge. I allow them to fire the first shots.
Yeah.
When they fire the first shots, I will return. I will return
fire.
Not with shots, but with grenades and airstrikes.
Yes.
Because the evidence is there. So this is as much as I will say today. No, I will give you a couple hints.
Yeah.
Because I want to put them on notice. The meeting that was held in the restaurant just past the Grosley Junction, when the little boy wrote his piece of paper and slid it across the table to Antonio Asenza to say how much he wanted to be able to approve the plans for HIA and to facilitate the project going on. That is one. And when the other gentleman wrote and slipped back the paper to him, and when the gentleman left St. Lucia on his private plane that was chartered and had to do an emergency landing because something had happened, and he never came back to St. Lucia on a private plane because he felt that his life was in danger flying on a private plane to St. Lucia. That is one. Number two, the other person who was there, who had no part to play in this, as a man of impeccable reputation, was so baffled by what had transpired, by the actions of the little boy, that he had to go back to the persons and apologize and say, I have no part with this thing. That is not why I came to meet with y'all. And if I knew that was part of the reason why I was coming to meet with y'all, I would not come. Because that's not my style.
Yeah.
And that's a colleague minister that I have the highest regard and respect for. So, those who want to talk about $1 million, I know the note that was written on the paper was not for $1 million. But it was never Guy Joseph who offered the $1 million. It was who was asking for the money and what was written on the piece of paper. Now, I know that to be factual and to be truthful. But the liars will never come. You ever heard the song, King Liar?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
So, the liars will never come and tell you, this is what was done, and this is how it was done. I will give you a few more hints.
Yeah.
Because St. Lucia, I want you to know, they can level everything they want at Guy Joseph.
And no proof.
But my character, not my reputation, they have sullied my reputation, but my character remains intact and impeccable in terms of all of the accusations. And I've told them, use Guy Joseph as a case study. Study everything about him. Bring any university. Because if linguists, the fixer, could not get it,
Right.
maybe there's somebody else who can get it. Bring them.
Bring him, yes.
And let them come and do what they feel they have to do to come and find out. Because I would love to be a case study. So I'm going to say a couple more things. How much time do I have?
Oh, you have a lot of time. You have time.
So here's what I'm saying to you, Champagne. Just give me a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I will put things in perspective so that everybody in St. Lucia will begin to understand. Guy Joseph is not a betrayer. I never betray anybody that I work with. I don't say one thing to you today and I do something else tomorrow. I try to be consistent. When I change my mind about something, I come forward as a man and I say, I'm not happy with that, and because of that, I'm going to do something else.
Yeah.
I cannot do what I said I would do, and my constituents know that. I tell them, a lot of them come to me and I tell them, what you want me to do there? I cannot do it, I will not do it. And some of them get upset and they go and they come back and they said, you know, I'm happy that you were honest with me. I don't waste your time. So, going back to this airport. So that's number one. An amount was written on the paper. An amount was written on the other side and a note and was passed. And there was no agreement. I was not at the meeting. I was not invited. I was not part of the dinner. So, that is number one. Number two, I had no say in the financing arrangement of the airport. That was under the Ministry of Finance.
Right.
I could not approve, I could not disapprove. Now, I will give you the second one to deal with. And a lot of people in the party know because it had been discussed previously. You remember a whole set of equipment landed in Viewfort.
Yep.
Prior
Some Spanish company, I think it was.
Prior to 2011 elections.
Yep.
And the people in St. Lucia, the truckers and the equipment owners, they were mobilizing. They were mobilizing to go on some protest. And you know what? I was hearing this on the radio, and I did not know what had transpired. I picked up the phone and I called the then Comptroller of Customs. And I said, I'm hearing this on Newspin that all of this equipment came in and that's the ministry and whatever. And the Comptroller tell me, yes, but your ministry cleared all of this equipment. I was so embarrassed as the minister that this had happened under my ministry and I was not aware. I called the permanent secretary. I'll not mention any names today.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a synopsis. But I will mention the names at the appropriate time.
Yes.
The permanent secretary said to me, you know, Minister, I would never do that and not inform you. So I called the deputy permanent secretary. And the deputy permanent secretary said, I know nothing about that.
Yeah.
I was on holidays and whatever. An investigation was launched into the ministry. And when the investigation was launched, we found out some very interesting things. That a deputy permanent secretary was sent to act at the Ministry of Communications and Works for 3 days. And the record is there in Customs to show that for the 3 days that that deputy permanent secretary from the Ministry of Finance came to act in the ministry, that the documents was signed, stamped by the ministry, approved by Customs in Castries, and delivered in Viewfort on the same day. Now, everybody who knows how Customs operates will know that this is not possible if it was not facilitated. Further, I called the Comptroller of Customs and I said, all of this equipment was cleared as belonging to the Ministry of Communications and Works, and that does not belong to the ministry. So you need to take the appropriate action. You need to go out there and seize all of the equipment. And the Comptroller of Customs went in, tallied the bill, and put a bill of $4 million on declaring the equipment, for the equipment to be cleared. Once that had happened, the matter was out of my hands. So, when people want to label Guy Joseph was never involved in the airport deal.
No.
I was handling the work aspect of it, not the financial aspect. And I can tell you, there was a partnership that was formed. And it's in the report, it's in the Linguist report. There is a partnership that was formed between a US-based company and asphalt and mining. And by that time, Guy Joseph was not in the equation anymore. Asphalt and mining was not even speaking to Guy Joseph. And go and find out who was doing the negotiations, who was traveling, who was raising money for the airport. Because I tell the people of St. Lucia, you see, my people of Castries Southeast, I value them too highly. The level of support that I have given to them, or they have given to me, and the representation I have given to them, I will never betray their trust. If I have to get to that point, I will leave politics. I will never do something to embarrass them in politics. If I feel I cannot work, I will leave. But I will never bring shame to the people of Castries Southeast.
Agree.
For the flambeaus. And I'm speaking because the laborers would love something like that to happen.
Oh, yeah.
But you see, for the flambeaus and the independent voters in Castries Southeast, they're not affiliated to any party. But if they are satisfied, they will go and vote. Guy Joseph will never embarrass you all. You know why? Because I value the integrity of the constituents of Castries Southeast. So yes, I get accused.
Yeah.
I've told them, I will write my book in time, if God permits me to be here. But the amount of things that I know, Champagne.
Yeah, of course.
The amount of things, because I operate above board, so I'm not afraid. I've never been scared of anything. I've never been scared of what can be found out. Because when the equipment came, and I want them to go and find out if the equipment was cleared and the $4 million was paid, because my understanding was it was reduced to $1 million, but not a cent was paid.
Paid.
And that was totally out of my hands. So you see, when it's convenient, people want to talk because I'm an easy scapegoat.
That's what they think.
I'm Indian.
Yeah. You're doing calls, no?
We'll take a few calls.
Come on, sit there.
I'm Indian.
Yeah.
They can come after me. I'm part of the minority in
Yes.
St. Lucia.
But the Indian public, the Indian people were so well off in the way they conducted the business. The Indians in Forest here, they went about doing their own forms of business. Those down in Auger, those people were well off. So why would
All of the accusations that they make about me, Champagne, not one shred of evidence. I mean, look at what Debunking. So what he said, I should be in prison because I wrote a letter. What did this letter cost the government of St. Lucia? And I can show you in a forensic audit what transpired with the minister's account. Have we heard anything being said?
Nothing.
Now, because all I'm asking for is consistency, you know. If there are things that I have done that I should be penalized, I agree. I should be penalized. But don't try to use one measurement for Guy Joseph for a letter that means nothing and I should be in prison. But Kenny Anthony signing a letter that only the Governor General had the authority to. So I wasn't the Minister of Finance. I couldn't sign a letter, which I did not sign any letter that was not within my purview to do. But they've made this such a big issue. They've made this such a big issue that today, all you can find on Guy Joseph is a letter. Kenny Anthony, the Robert Ainsworth letter. Cabinet gave him authority for mining rights to any land that he was going to purchase in St. Lucia. A right that belongs only to the state. Grindberg, the seabed, Rochamel. I can show you in the Rochamel report that that at least 4 guarantees were given.
We have some calls. We have a call.
Can we just hold on? Let me finish this and then we will take the calls.
Yes, Minister. Thank you.
I want to be able to say all of these. So if you feel that I wrote a letter that should not have been written and you want to condemn what we do in government, why be selective? I guess if you are selective in deciding which body parts you are going to display on TV or on your phone, and look at it, the same people who had you trapped and boxed into a corner where you had to resign from your position are the same persons you teaming up with, and you have integrity. You have respect And I'm supposed to regard you coming and talk about me on TV. You can talk about me, but talk about yourself. Tell us why you're exposing your body parts. Don't you think you owe the people of St. Lucia an explanation for this? So, don't come and try and talk about me. I didn't cause you to lose your job. I can tell you what part of your body caused you to lose your job. And if you are thinking with your head rather than with other parts of your body, you would not be where you are today.
Definitely.
So don't try to pick a fight with me.
Yeah.
Because I know how to fight. And I know how to fight very hard.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I want to assure my people, the Labour Party, and you will have more attacks on me, because some people who are not Prime Minister, they hold me accountable for them not being Prime Minister. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I understand, yeah.
that's my lot. I will carry it. They say when you have your cross, you have to carry your cross.
Yeah.
So I become the easiest scapegoat. The goat, you know the idea of a scapegoat? A scapegoat is when, and I like to use my Bible reference.
Yes, yes.
So in the cleansing of the sanctuary, which happened on the Day of Atonement once a year, every year, the children of Israel, every sin they committed, they would go to the temple and offer a lamb or a pigeon or something as a sacrifice. And then the sins would accumulate in the temple for the year. On the Day of Atonement, the priest would go into the most holy place and minister, and there would be cleansing of the sanctuary. And 2 goats would be chosen, one which is called Azazel, and the other one which is the Lord's goat. And all the sins would be transferred onto the goat. One goat would be slain, and the other would be taken by a strong man and taken far away into the wilderness to be left there. And all the sins of the people were transferred to the goat, which became the scapegoat. So all the things that happened, the goat wasn't guilty of anything. It's not the goat that did anything. But the goat became just like, that's why they call it the Lord's goat. Now, it's a bit confusing, and maybe people who go to church need to take a little time and understand why Jesus was the lamb slain, yet still the sins were transferred onto the goat. But I was just saying this by way of passing to give the background, my own background of understanding of what a scapegoat is, where you become the subject of the persecution. You pay the price and the penalty for things that you did not do, but you the easiest target. So I have become the easiest target for the opposition and for those who pretend to be flabos. And I don't deal with traitors.
Yes.
You don't pretend that you are with me. You eat, you drink, you do everything. Then I have a lot of questions to ask. But I will monitor activities for the next couple of days before I make these pronouncements.
Yes.
So, Guy Joseph is an easy target. Guy Joseph is this, Guy Joseph is that. And all it is things from the Labour Party and some disgruntled fellas from Flabo that we removed. And some who removed themselves because of their own shortcomings. So, I am saying today that as we would open the lines, my people of Castries Southeast, you have a rep whose character is intact.
Yes.
And they can file everything they want. They can say anything they want. Your parliamentary rep, your minister has never disappointed. And I will never do anything to embarrass you. And the amount of information I have, and I have documents to back up the information that I have. And if anybody want to question what I said, go and find out who went to the Deutsche Bank, who was negotiating, and when Antonio Ascenza was coming to St. Lucia to finalize his negotiations with the airport, find out if Guy Joseph was in the equation. But you see, I've chosen not to speak about these things over the years because when you're part of a team, you're supposed to be able to take blows for the team.
The team, yes. Yes, Minister.
You don't take, if a blow is leveled at you,
Yeah.
and if I can take the blow and it will do less harm to me than it would be for you. So if I'm with my wife and I'm driving and something is coming to hit me, and I have a left-hand drive vehicle, and I see her side is going to get the blow, I most likely will swerve the vehicle so that I take the blow in her place.
Yes.
When you're part of a team, when you are a soldier in a battle, and you're on the battlefield, and you are stronger, you can take the blows for your colleague. And I would do that any and every day for my team. But if you break away from the team and you form your own team or you join another team, don't think I'm taking the blows for you anymore.
That's right. That's right.
I've done my part. I've taken blows for a lot of things. And I tell my colleagues, don't worry about me. I can deal with that. I can take that for you. I can handle that. That's who I am. I'm not that big, but I feel character-wise I'm strong.
Yeah.
I have good self-esteem, and most of all, I have a good value system. A good value system from my parents and from my church. God instills certain values in me that nothing is going to change that. And so I came here today to address this because people want to be worried. Flabos, don't be worried. We are going to win this election once all our Flabo people come out to vote. Don't be discouraged. I said to people, sometimes God gives us all the signals and we don't pay attention. So God takes the matter into his own hands and he's dealing with it. All of us have been praying. None of us have gone to Haiti. None of us have gone to the Obiaman for where we are today. All we have been doing, all our pastors, our leaders, our regular folks, all of you who have been praying for this United Workers' Party, praying for this Prime Minister, and praying for this government, are you doubting God at this 11th hour? No, that's not the time to doubt God. That's the time to put faith and trust in God that he is doing or he is allowing what is best for this party to happen. And Mrs. Girodi, I compliment you and I congratulate you on taking the challenge. And it would be good to have a name of Girodi in the government of St. Lucia once again. We can take the calls.
Yes, definitely, folks. There's one call coming now. Hello, good afternoon, Sky FM.
Yes, sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sky FM. Can I help you? The minister will take your call now.
Is that Brother Champagne?
No, that's Brother E.T.
Oh, Brother E.T.
Yeah, most graciously and good afternoon. And you listen to 411 E.T. Connect now. Champagne has just gone on a little business there.
So my call is not on?
Yes, your call
Yes,
is
you
on.
are on
The
call.
minister is awaiting your call.
Okay, yes. Well,
Ask the question.
Let me say good afternoon to the minister.
Yes,
Good
wonderful.
afternoon.
You can. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Minister, good afternoon.
He says,
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
I'm going to speak for 10 minutes.
You're going to
I'm going to speak for 10 minutes. Now, I'm hanging up now, right?
Yes.
I'm hanging up now.
Yeah.
What I want you to do for me,
Yeah.
For my 10 minutes, just put back the picture of Janine M. Jody on the screen.
Oh, you want the picture of Janine Girodi on the screen?
For 10 minutes. And that's my call.
Oh, just put it on the screen for 10 minutes.
Yes. That's my contribution.
I'm a bit puzzled.
Me too.
Yes.
What is
Let
your
the people see it. Yes.
what is your reason for that? May I ask?
No, but that's my contribution.
Oh, that's your contribution.
GBD,
because I want the whole world to see her.
I'm happy to accede to the request that if you can switch my picture and put Mrs. Girodi's picture on screen.
Okay.
And then, yes, so we can leave it there for a few minutes while we
No, not a few. That's my call. That's my call. 10 minutes.
10 minutes, he said.
All right.
Okay.
Leave it there for
so
10
GBD,
minutes.
after 10 minutes, you can remove the picture and you can focus back on us.
Okay.
I have no problems with that.
Right. That's good. Leave it there for me.
Yeah.
And that's a lovely picture of a real businesswoman, a woman who is serious and who brings a level of class and quality to the Senate of St. Lucia. And can you imagine what she would do as a minister in the government of St. Lucia?
Yeah, I know. I was raised around her family on the Mon, Henry Girodi, on the Mon as a youngster growing up, and I remember then on. She's very close to some of my nieces, etc. We have another call for the minister. Yeah, let me get it. Yeah. Good afternoon, Sky FM, the People's Radio, 93.1. Can I help you?
Yeah, good afternoon. First time calling.
Yes.
Calling from Daddy Chaussee.
Good afternoon.
Yes, go
Good
ahead.
afternoon.
The minister is listening to
Yeah,
you.
first time calling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ubaldo said that yesterday for true. I heard him.
Okay.
He said you should be in prison.
Well, I may have to go there after him.
And Richard Cedric was saying last night, he called the Seventh-day Adventist president, minister, whatever, to warn you and disqualify you.
So he doesn't think that my opponent should be disqualified for coming and mash up a whole church service, threatening to slap a pastor, doing all kinds of things, but he feels I should be disqualified. You see, that's why I tell you, that's a little boy. That's a joker. That's a joker of class.
But you are covered under the blood of Jesus.
Thank you so much, and I know that.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes.
Okay.
They go to Haiti, we go to God.
Yeah.
God. I am going to a novena in 1 hour's time.
Oh, that's
Thank
enjoy.
you. Thank
Good.
you.
Enjoy.
Good.
And I want to tell the people of Castries Southeast, we are coming out to join the island-wide motorcade on Sunday, and we are going to make a statement that Labour Party is going to lose their deposit. We begin in Forestier at about 12 noon, between 12 noon 1 p.m., and then we circle around and we go down the East Coast to Viewfort. That's the route I have been informed of that we would be taking on Sunday. And I will show them what a real crowd of supporters is on Sunday.
We have another call, Minister. Yeah, hello. Hello.
Minister, I just called you all to tell you to take down this picture. Take it down. I trust no man. Trust no man. Take the picture down. Take it down as quick as possible. We all know Miss Girodi.
So, what are you trying to say, caller?
Caller is that I don't know. For me, I am just like disturbed at having the photo up there for 10 minutes. He didn't give a proper reason why he wanted it. Just take it down.
Are you superstitious?
Trust no man. Exactly. You see, take it down. We know how they roll.
But
thank you.
Okay. I guess some people are so much different. We have another call on Sky FM for the minister.
Yeah, so maybe we can switch the picture now.
Yes.
I'm neither here nor there on either of the calls, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah. Yeah, hello.
Some people are superstitious, some are not.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I'm
hello,
not
I
among
was
the
just calling to
superstitious
tell you to
type.
move that picture on the screen because we don't know why they want a picture there for 10 minutes. The guy did not give a good reason why he want the picture there for 10 minutes. We all know Miss Girodi. She was the president of the Senate. She was always on TV.
Yes.
Why you all want them there? So please remove her picture.
So we have removed the picture.
The picture is gone right now.
Thank you, my minister, Guy Joseph.
Yes,
You're
yeah.
welcome. It's me
My
that's
little
there
favor
now.
with-
So.
Okay then. Okay, thanks for calling.
Guy, give it to them.
Okay, thank you. Thanks
You
for
know
calling.
who's talking, but right now you'll not know. When you see me, you know me.
All right.
Victory all the way. Victory
Okay.
all the way.
Oh, yeah.
Ring the bell. Ring the bell.
Jubilation is
Ring the bell and ring that bell for us and keep taking a section. No represent. No new land. We don't need him. Okay?
okay.
Ring that bell. Good.
Okay.
Victory. Victory.
You want me
victory
to
for
ring?
Janet.
You want me to ring the bell?
But ever since if shall say no one say it's already. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yay!
You're welcome. You're
Okay,
welcome.
bye-bye.
Bye bye, and have a good day, a good
You
weekend
too, my dear.
actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
We have another call. Yeah, we have another call, and yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Sky FM. Can I help you? Good afternoon, Sky FM. Can I help you? Good afternoon.
And I endorse the caller. Good afternoon.
Yeah, the
Mr.
minister is
DT.
waiting
Good
for your
afternoon, Mr.
question.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Hello.
I endorse if the callers please remove the picture on the screen. Thank you.
But we have removed the picture already, so.
Thank you,
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Guy Joseph. Thank you.
The picture is gone. Thank you. You're welcome. Have a good weekend. We have another caller here. Yeah, good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my minister.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Mr. Guy,
Yeah.
I heard you said you have a rally on Sunday.
No, we don't have a rally. We have a drive around the
A
constituency.
drive around, sorry, drive
and the
around
party,
Sunday. Yeah.
The party has
You
an
know who's
island-wide
speaking?
motorcade.
That's Anios. That's Aldrich wife brother that's speaking
Okay,
there.
yes, I know from
You
from
know
the
me.
mall.
You know where I live
Capitol
in.
Hill.
Okay.
Capitol Hill.
Yes, that's right,
Yeah,
Mr. Guy.
yeah.
I haven't get my T-shirt and I want my flag.
Okay, so you will have your T-shirts. We are collecting the T-shirts this afternoon. So
Okay.
by the weekend, you'll have your T-shirt.
Okay then. I'll get it.
We will
Because-
be sending to our team leaders in the various areas.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Looking forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, you're welcome, caller.
Okay. All
Enjoy
right.
your weekend and make sure
Yeah.
you're there. See and be there. Thank you.
Okay.
Minister, I have a question to ask you. How do you... Oh, there's another call's coming.
Yeah.
Another call. Let me get that call. Oh, yes. Yeah, good afternoon,
Yes,
caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jenny.
IFM.
Bienvenue. Oui, bienvenue.
Good afternoon, sir.
Champagne.
No, that's not
Oui, est-ce que vous
champagne.
entendez moi?
We heard you. We heard
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Talk to the minister. He's
Okay.
waiting for you. He's waiting for
Oui,
your,
oui.
your question.
Ok, Monsieur Guy.
Oui.
Si moi pas d'éducation, moi pas qu'à lire, mais si moi te dis autres, Judas fait fait notre travail, je pas qu'à quoi. Où ça côté moi ça, depuis côté moi ça, monsieur Guy fait entre temps sur nous. Les mois de check meeting, les couiller meeting, monsieur toujours, il toujours pas venir, il toujours n'y a pas pour faire. Moi quand il est, monsieur pas qu'à rester là pour bon. Mais bon Dieu son père qui goûte. Souhait, moi voulais tout le monde qui a supporté monsieur Katan. C'est mon qui a supporté monsieur King. Bail flambeau. 6 ans sans tout flambeau. Monsieur King passe à jamais gain site là. Raison qui les monsieur King pas mais c'est pas dépendant, il monte chez il a monté dépendant. Parce qu'il dit c'est bail les bas. Ça pas qu'il faut. Il monte ça dépendant en espère qu'il gain site après il les bas. Puis c'est ça j'ai fait du caméra tête li. Mais si c'est mon nom, moi quand des autres souple 6 ans sans flambeau. vote by Madame Jodi souple, vote by parce depuis c'est un trou flabo so pas vote by monsieur, il bien petit là. Parce que monsieur c'est Judas.
So kola.
Moutie monsieur côté. Yes.
Ba yon minute temps pour just faire un point là because vous lève un bon point là.
Oui.
Tant ça a dit.
Oui.
Pour qui raison et moi camade tout monde cette ici. Pour qui raison ou quoi les bas parti pas jamais nommé non candidat pour Castries North et qui ont toujours dit on a plan. So et qui moun yo te ni plan, qui moun yo te ka parler puis et qui plan yo te ka fait. So loud about Judas, et loud about traitor, et this et that. Moun peut-être kay trouvé c'est parole ça, c'est parole qui fort et qui offensé. But nous pour demander nous. Qui ça Judas fait? Judas mange pain et il boit du vin avec bon Dieu. Avec Jésus. Et Jésus laissez les autres disciples demander qui moun qui kay toyer nous. Ou savez ça Judas dit? Judas dit et c'est moi. Et Jésus même dit, well, c'est où qui dit, ça ou qu'il fait, a fait évitement. Et où savez les quitter Jésus, ça y a fait, il allait joindre un chef prêtre là. Et il vend Jésus pour 30 chors d'argent, 40 pieces of silver.
En silver, et tout le temps.
Et qui était juste fin manger, et boire, et puis. So, now, by about disrespect by ça. Moko ka parle about ça. Because moi ça parle about qui moun qui te ka dérespecter qui moun. But mo ka tackle c'est by ça. A quitter ça pour plider. Mais quand là, ou fait un bon point là. Et tout flambeau, supposé garder ça. Because question c'est, qui ça les bas parti savent, that flambeau parti savent. What did the Labour Party know that the United Workers' Party did not know? And who was discussing with the Labour Party? Certainly it was not Alan Chastney or Guy Joseph or Ezekiel Joseph or Gail Rigobert or Bradley Field. None of us was discussing with the Labour Party. But the Labour Party knew something. Si men passe Sean Pate asu ou sota valia kuma.
Oui, regardez comment ça vient valider.
Est-ce Sean Pate sur TV pour dire trust us?
Oui.
My leader know what he is doing. We have a plan.
Okay.
So, même si pourtant nous nommer nos candidats, so est-ce là te nan nom ka jouer Bofman? Et si te ka jouer Bofman, nous qui te ka jouer cricket longtemps, on savent là on ka jouer Bofman. Là ou pas ni 6 noms sur chaque side. Ou ni 7 ou ni 6, yon nom ka jouer Bofman. Because tout nom voulait en jouer. So, c'est ça cette licite ni pour ma décoyo jodia. Tout flambeau ni pour ma décoyo. Qui moun qui te ka jouer Bofman? Et est-ce pas du temps te lek nous? Est-ce te ka parler by Labour Party? Et est-ce te ka di Labour Party? Qui t'en mouvement qui fait les bas partis te savent pas meilleur candidat là. Ça c'est question nous supposer demander qu'on nous et moi si ouais évidence là ça répond question à bas nous.
Mais monsieur Gay, les mon ka garder, moi ça mon ka dit. Moi ka dit chay moun. Monsieur Gay, ouais de là chay les me dire mon na ba yo ka capter do passe ba li pour sans couillon. Mais ça mon ka dit c'est moun de fait bousquet d'éducation et d'intelligence. Mais ça m'a dit, ouais, na ouais, oubliez du moins, si vous avez un problème et puis monsieur King a besoin tout, monsieur Vini, nous assis, ou ça fait telle manière, telle façon, moi pas content ça, tout bagaille. Moi, puis là, nous m'ont dit, bien, ouais, ça ou bien, oui, bien, monsieur Premier ministre, ou maltraité monsieur par là, ça va être bon par là. Mais si vous pas complain by personne, et que c'est vous décider, pas qu'après personne monter, ça ka moucho parole dit monsieur ni contact avec ces bougs là c'est parole dit monsieur bougs ça ni parole là est-ce que vous respectez exactement les dates d'élection ou ka moucho ou ka resign et ou ka monter dépendant so là ou ka monter dépendant ou ka nous sont sacré couillon So, nous avons indépendant. Mais ça pas vrai.
Gade debate la, lela teni no confidence motion na. Gade sa chondi a même debate sa encore. Because moi ici a pour faire cette lisien ça, changer. Moi di pli bonnet. Bon Dieu ka moutoué nous toutes ces signes qui ka fait là pour nous ouvrir yeux nous et pour nous comprendre ça ka fait nous. Mais là nous pas attendre. Ou changer. Si vous connaissez la Bible, ou changer Balaam te dit il kay maudit maman Israël because bon Dieu because prophète là dit il passe bon Dieu voit commission dit ou passe à maudit because wa capé il dit qu'aller bon Dieu dit aller mais là aller c'est ça moi dit c'est ça ou kay dit et bouik là l'ange là et il même pas l'ange là pièce bon les bon Dieu qu'a fait travail li an pas du bout en chimé bon Dieu pour empêcher il faire travail.
Bon, monsieur Gaï, ça c'est bon point, puis on chaille mon quelqu'un tiré. Oh, nous peut qu'à faire partie. Bon Dieu, ça que ça fait. Bon Dieu, ça que puis manière qu'il a primaire, parce que l'élection gagne et puis swing. Bon Dieu fait right by là. Mais comme je dit, je vais demander, j'ai supporter monsieur King. 6 ans c'est un trou flambeau. Because il pas dit ça pour une partie, hein. Il pas de respecter partie, il doit respecter le public simplicity. Monsieur, il doit respecter tout le monde pays simplicity. Monsieur qui plie font en partie pour plier longtemps 40 years mais 45 years, c'est pas pour les monsieur là en chaitan. Et jodi ou ka fait coup de crétas en les nous, monsieur King, sou ka coûter monsieur King, dès fois ou la ka coûter, sou yo m'ka dou ça. Sou ka coûter, soit on ni 3000 moun ka vote ba ou ka hen 600 moun ou ka hen 2600. Merci bien monsieur Guy, merci bien.
Merci caller. Merci.
Yes caller, thank you very much. Thank you very much caller. We have another call. Yeah, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Sky FM 93.1. Good afternoon. Hello. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, talk to the minister here.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. The minister, you can ask him
okay,
a
I'll
question.
connect with him. Yes, yeah. Mr. Guy.
Good afternoon.
My guy, that guy, our guy, the best guy. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
You know who's speaking, but you don't know whom from that point of view now.
Yes.
But I'll tell you something, Mr. Guy.
Yeah.
Okay? In all honest and truth, not because you are there, you have always been a friend to me, but in all honest and truth, you can see people who are honest within them. Okay? And I'm telling you that Mr. King did what he did. It's okay. It's his purview. It's his decision. We don't dwell with that. That's behind our back for now. All right? Till such time, if, the word if in brackets, open brackets, close brackets. But then, you know, upon hearing so much rumors, because moi-même c'est bras flambeau, moi-même pas certaine magie. Sometimes I heard things intriguing and it was already disturbing me. But I went back to the drawing board and I saw that was coming out so far since, you know, lost deputy and write letter to release my motor car in customs and a bunch of things. But leave that alone. Do you know my prediction for a candidate up there? I told the people around my block, my shop, you know. I told them I have a prediction. Either a lady or a man. And Mr. Guy, to be honest with you, there's one person, you know, affiliate to you and stuff, and all how I look at that person, man, I see cleanliness, I see honest, I see pure. And that was one of my candidates I had for that seat was Mr. Timothy Mangal. No, that's me, I'm being honest. I'm a flabber man, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a flabber man, and I like to pick quality. I like to pick class. I like to pick people with innovation, people with vision, okay? People who drive the roadside and see things quickly, you know? And this was one of those. And with the lady, the Girodi lady, I'm admiring Girodi. You know why? When I started in my politics, 79, Mr. King was already around, you know, and we know each other very good with Michael Flood and certain persons. We took their gas together. But I'll tell you what. When I see Girodi, Miss Girodi, I see her like the Prime Minister. Because I remember The Prime Minister was saying when he was giving his, how you call that review, young in politics, he had to work on the ship with his father to get his money, to go to school or do whatever he was doing. You understand?
Yeah.
So the work ethic did not come from as he became Prime Minister. It was always within him.
Yeah.
The motivation. So I see that with Mr. Girodi, because I remember Mr. Girodi representing people in Viewfort in the courthouse. There was one time a guy brought his mother to court for land. His mother, you know, for land. And when Mr. Girodi, because the guy is a staunch opposition person, so they have the lawyers and blah, blah, blah. The old lady put up Vinla, and she had nobody lawyer. You know, Mr. Girodi represented the lady, and he dismissed that case. And you know, the guy, now he's deceased, God forbid. But up to now, he had the name Girodi. Because, you know, on our taxi stand in Southern Taxi, I always put to his face, you know, because what you see like that time now, we always in boots. Yeah. We always in boots. Because he always tell me, I'm flower, but I always tell him, but Timothy Wambayo, a baleba, mountain yon selvan. Mon selvan, et puis you guys had over taxi. Mais les flabote mountain Devon, he just quitté the party. You understand what I'm telling you? Yeah. Because the Flabo people feel for people. Yeah. Mr. Guy, you did some work there in Kronglands, gap mark going in Kronglands, you know, inside the drainage and blah, blah, blah. I have a colleague in taxi. He stays in Mac.
Yeah.
He say he got vote labor because he took off to Mashale. And you know, some time ago, just before hurricane, you remember we had some heavy rains in that area?
Yeah.
Okay. He said to me, Garçon, où ça moi qui te kay moi ka descendre avec ma hadi madame moi navire tale because quand la police a c'est le na hen glo kronglan avec ma havie, ma haya travail. Et il passe il dit moi c'est tita yai qui mouillé tout seul. Moi dit bon sac à dos assez. Sac à dos assez because si gars pas de travail pas de ça il fait journée travail. Il dit moi ça quoi ça c'est ça au goût ça m'a dit bon.
Okay.
Because moi ni prévateur. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now in the politics of this country, Mr. Guy, it's good these things happen, you know, because I'll tell you, when you're a public servant, open your stomach up for criticisms. It makes you a better person.
Oh, yeah.
But don't lash back, because it proves that you're worse than the person who's lashing at you.
Yeah.
All right? You know what George Odom told me when I was on the minibus thing, Viewfort minibus? We were striking, we were agitating. You remember that time when Calix George was minister and he wanted two kids for one passenger if you're missing a passenger?
Yeah.
George Odlum met us walking towards the building, government building, to the meeting. And he said to me, young man, a man who lives to fight and run away lives to fight another day. Fight it with your fist. And I'll never forget that. Yeah. So, Mr. Guy, you have done so many things for the people. Your constituency, I'm proud of you for that. Because Mwedio,
Thank you.
Mwedio, I saw Gail, my Gail, Auntie Gail, our Gail, put out a motoke that mwele baten. Me, le mwe sa spider goes in lady mash. Mwene partner mwen kuye mwene mga som nayale because motoke sa goes in some guy afali. But mwede si goes in pa afali na idu we. Badlin ba afali because leg guy kay me sali ata swe beson ba afali. La kana hurricane ga afali. No, I'm being honest with you, and I'm a flabo man, you know, boss.
Yeah.
Now I'm telling you, when I look at our slate of candidates, I see Auntie Gail, I see our sports lady, I see the name can come now because I'm heated. Sarah in my constituency, you know. I applaud Mrs. Girodi. I applaud our Mrs. Sarah Flood for her. Sarah is always calm. That's my girl. Yeah. And she's standing what she believes in. She got fired under Kenny because Kenny don't like opposition. When the thing about the kids were abomination was passed, okay? And I like her for that. She stand on her grounds. And when I look at our education level, the class what government is offering, 5 for 5. People, I always say, I'm not talking to you now, Mr. Minister. I'm talking to the world public of St. Lucian, Fall Flabos, and those who are about making up their mind. When the government say he giving you 5 for 5, you have all the rights to trust him because he gave you 5 to stay alive. He delivered. He delivered. And you are up to benefit in the 5 for 5 because he shook a hand. Passe laptop la keni by 20 years ago. Ekles in sa blanc. C'est tout DJ qui in sa café de same thing. And that is what they're talking about all the time. Laptop. C'est laptop sa battery. Compared to what we're given. Our e-books, watch how much money is being spent in education. You know, watch. Let me tell you something, Mr. Guy. Some of us are too whatever we are. You know why? When everywhere was closed, everywhere, borders closed everywhere because of COVID, our children were trapped overseas on cruise ship. The government went all out, I'm not consultant, people who come and talk to you. Why you call that again? Say like trauma, if you have a trauma, so how you call these people?
Oh, counselors.
Counselors. Yeah. The government went out and get counselors. He went out and cut the ropes that he had to cut to see these children came back. He spent so much money. Labor stood on the side, God, go ahead, my spend cut tailor. Issue me. Issue me. So that is to tell you, there's something you use to measure people and you call it human etiquette. Exo one pan sa usawa still winning. So panisa usawa still winning. Now these things don't just pick up by the roadside. These things are things you get from home doctrine. Okay? If you don't raise in a home that could give you the morals to carry you out there, you will not get it. And affiliate yourself with God, my brother. Because God tell you, love your neighbor as yourself. Yes. Okay? Feel for people. There's a going that always says, Mr. Guy, a joke you cannot take is a joke you should not make.
You should not make.
Simple as that. Put yourself in the person's shoe. Papa's only go motorbike. And now I watch Richard. Richard wants to be in the top of everything. He wants to be in charge. He wants to be this. But I never see Richard get so angry when he lost deputy. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So people have to go back to the drawing board and watch the colors of these kind of fellas. Now, you bald us, another waste of time. That's a waste of time for a young man. Very, 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 very much waste of time. Talking shit among the same, trying to make back with the same people who kicked him in his butt. Who went out and portray and get Trinidad pictures and St. Lucian pictures and, you know. So when you watch these kind of fellas, brother, these are not the figures we're looking for. 2021, man, let me tell you all something. Flabo have nowhere to go. But Flabo is there to continue the work. My brother, the international airport with the plan in Viewfort, this is what they're fighting. Because you have your more. Yourself side. Your more. Watch. Just take the statistics. Last Saturday alone. I don't know if you have it with you, but somewhere along, I know you're a man who just keep your notes and, you know, when you have your 5 minutes, you flash back.
1,932, I think.
Huh?
About 1,932.
Yes. 932 came in, but not that I'm going into. Watch how much revenue government pick up on that day at the airport, just in one day. Okay? So when you put that for 30 years together, even if you don't get the total of that on Saturday, but you get about half. For 30 years, dime ko nugale, monsieur. Monsieur, moi v'la moun dime kote nugale. Okay? But you know these fellas' hands are long. They would always go for that PPP thing. Because they have the bag hand to come for them while they're out of government.
Yes, because with the formula they were using, nobody have asked themselves who would have shares in the business that was, the company that was going to build the airport. Who are the local affiliates of it?
No, guy. Tout question, c'est guy. Tout question, guy, m'a dit c'est guy guining. You know? Guy is the bad guy.
No, but here's the point, caller. What I'm saying is that with the present arrangement, the money is collected by IATA on behalf of St. Lucia, and a report is submitted. So there's no way any government can make any bubble.
There's no scapegoat in that, you know.
Is collected by an international agency, and the records are kept. Now, when the other company that they were given to build the airport, the money would be collected directly by the company, you know. So who would know what was happening with the money? And who would know who are the partners of that company. Because party mon ka ben moun airport la, nous, all nous te ka fait c'est build airport la, slash pa ka continue run airport la. Yo même yo ka buy a company airport la pour manage, pour collect l'argent, pour faire tout bail pour 30 years.
Well, you see, that's what burning them now because they cannot get that kind of thing they had planned going. Now, what you must understand with these fellas, look at that. Let's go closer to home, or right inside the center of home. After 2.5 years, the Chuvali thing came out, and Chuvali had a passport, you know. Like you had, Roy. Okay?
Presently, nous attend. Où ça c'est beaucoup la vin parler about me. Nous attend that Lana account between Chuvali and former High Commissioner.
Yeah, my Jeep, it's my vehicle. Come for it if you want it. Yes.
Pas di nou ki moun ki bay authorization la pan pièce record dans gouvernement pour moutouer that Latin authority pour ek pièce son le ba parti a pas de problème avec ça. Le initil kon yo baldas ka vin parler about se bay ça yo pas na manière pour di s'ouvre parler about tout bay. La na machine pa ka sou off la jodi a qui te un non gouvernement et qui lance cette liste qui a sous non l'autre moun c'est moun ça pas supposé l'argent c'est moi qui supposé l'argent et que vous voulez me dire respect ba là ou vinn parler là ou te met tout ou qui a fait deal ou Trinidad ou a fait geste là ou pour whatever ou fait nous pas jamais fin savent ça qui fait Trinidad. Ou perd travail ou rodi ou fâché contre un moun pour ça. À cause de ça un moun qui fait.
Qui faut perd travail. Garçon c'est conduit pas conduit comme l'eau femme ou pas ou marié ou pas conduit comme l'eau femme c'est ça qui problème. C'est ça qui problème. OK? C'est ça qui problème monsieur. Bon, moi ka toujours. Là regarder ces boucles de parti. Yo pas parler about Saudi là. Ou ça pour que ça pas parler. Kenny is not a government who wants anybody to stand and say no boss, it's not supposed to be painted in blue, it's supposed to be painted in black. This is a Saudi fire. Okay? What is the NCA scandal? And go back to your opposition fella there now. Okay? Let me take a vin show Land Rover say by government Kenny di bali pour gratuity.
Okay, yes, folks. Hello.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, we have a lot of calls coming in.
I know, but before I go, just let me close it up. Mr. Guy, I'll meet you in person. I'll come and check you, don't worry.
Yeah.
But I'll meet you in person. Let me tell you, my people in the diaspora in America who just call me, my people in St. Croix who wants to come down to vote, and St. Thomas, okay? I'm telling you all, get ready. Put your ID cards. I have always been lamenting that. I'm asking the government to go over there, send his diaspora people to check for you all. Because I don't want you all to stay out of it. I know I have some of you coming down somewhere the 16th or so. But I'm being honest with you. I want you all to come and support the government because the government is working. You know what's more shameful, Mr. Guy? People help do your paka what government ka fait. Now I just islamé we ka replimer. Et you vote tout gens ici IQ by one Jésus pour yo web.
Yeah, okay, caller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling and enjoy your weekend, huh?
No, that's my time to fire. That's our campaign time.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Let me get another caller. The boards are getting hot. Yeah, good afternoon. Can I help you? And this is, can I help you?
Good afternoon.
We don't can I help
Can
you?
I help you, sir?
No, we don't.
No, 411 ET Connect. That is it. That is it. You know, a common phrase that's used is unfortunate. Sometimes, you know, slip of the tongue use it. Yeah. Can I let you speak to the minister, please?
Yes, I just want the minister to tell me. In the past, he has said that the UWP going to win about 17 seats or 16 seats. Is he convinced that they are going to win so many seats?
Caller, can you repeat your question?
Yeah, repeat that question,
yes.
Caller.
I've heard you in the past saying that the United Workers' Party is going to win as many as 17 seats. So I want to know, are you still convinced that you are going to win that many seats?
In politics, anything is possible. So let me respond to you. I believe that we are winning
Go ahead.
anywhere between 12 and 14 seats in this election.
Okay. My next question to you. Do you think that your government is popular then or now?
My government has always been popular.
Thank you, Minister. Great answer.
And I'm not just telling you that.
Yeah.
There are two political parties in St. Lucia. Both political parties are popular. So I don't understand the basis of the question. So if you ask me, is the Labour, I've said it. The Labour Party, in my constituency, Labour Party has about 3,000 supporters. I have about 4,000 plus. So anytime any one of the parties have an activity, you must see people, because both parties have a strong base. So to ask me if I think the government is popular.
Okay, can I say something?
Yes.
From my observation, leading up to 2016, I think the Alan Chastney was very popular. But leading up to 2021, I think he has lost popularity. And based on what I see, I think that your party is going to lose a number of seats in the upcoming elections. I don't even think that you are capable of winning 9 seats. Thank you very much.
Well, caller, everybody have their opinion. That's your habit of doing that. Every time around election, that you cannot win this seat and you cannot win that seat and this cannot happen and that can happen. I don't worry myself with that. I want you to know, caller, the voters on the day, I can want to win all 17 seats. At the end of the day, it is the voters who decide who they want for government. And when the voters decide, I accept the voters' decision. It is evident that the United Workers' Party. So you want to tell me that Alan Chastney is not popular, and you think Philip J. Pierre is popular? Philip J. Pierre is the least popular person who has ever ventured into the arena of politics in St. Lucia. There's never been somebody who's vying to be prime minister who has been as unpopular as Philip J. Pierre is. Even hardcore Labour Party supporters tell you, boy, I don't want Philip J. Pierre for prime minister. So if you tell me Kenny Anthony and Stevenson King and George Odlum, Alan Louisi, Sir John Compton, all of these people, all of these have been popular names. Among leaders of political parties in St. Lucia, I think that Philip J. Pierre would rank together with one. You see, when you had the party one, that is where I would rank Philip J. Pierre. Right, as much as people never took one serious, that's the biggest problem the Labour Party has. Nobody sees, even in among your own ranks, and you sound like you are one of the Labour Party operatives. So I wish that you all would stay and engage. But you see, you want to pitch something and run away because you have no substance to discuss. Yeah. But I can tell you, I'd love to have had that discussion with you about Philip J. Pierre. Philip J. Pierre does not count in the equation of prime ministers in this country.
No, not even as a rep. Hello, good afternoon.
Shabbe, you're very full now?
Yes, you monitoring what I do? Talk to me. What's going on?
Listen, if you are baby, it's E.T.
It is there, but look, talk to the minister. We have a lot of calls coming in.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Minister, let not your heart be troubled. We are giving them 17-0. 17 love.
That's right. That's right. We have to ring the bell on that.
Next thing, Mr. Minister, that guy that called the Joker, he's a born loser.
Yeah.
Next thing, Mr. Minister, the reason why they go pick on you is because you are our great leader, the greatest leader on the planet. So Adam Michael Chastney, when y'all in the House Assembly, You all have them looking like those SLPs, looking like puppies. Believe me. I said, look at these guys. Look at guy have this fun on those guys. Those guys, they can't look at guys. They hold their head down, or sometimes they don't sit down to listen to you speak. They just walk out because they're too embarrassed. They're scared of you, Mr. Minister. They are scared of you. They're afraid of you. That's why they want to get rid of you. You're the great Prime Minister. You're too much for them.
All right, my brother.
Too alone to handle the whole SLP because they're a bunch of losers, a bunch of jokers.
Thank you.
Nobody likes them. Nobody. They can't even travel. They can't travel to go to work. They're a bunch of losers. Gonna go to him.
Okay, thank you, my friend. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon, Champagne.
Good afternoon,
Minister.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. The leaking pipe. The leaking pipe in cabinet meetings, the pipe has been repaired.
Thank you.
The pipe has been repaired. Facebook Messenger is of no use no more. And Minister, you know what I'm talking about.
The Minister knows.
You know that was my colleague, and I will never make a derogatory statement or anything. I've always had regard for Mr. King. I respect him. Like I said, what he did, he alone knows his own reasons. I know this is not a decision for St. Lucia. This is not a decision for the constituents. This may be a personal decision, but we never come into politics for personal, or we should never come into politics for personal reasons. We must come into politics to look after the interest of the people. And when we cannot do so, then we have to take the appropriate steps to remove ourselves from the process.
Yes.
So I don't want to say anything. I will watch what is said in the coming days, but like I said, I have enough ammunition to fire back.
Yes. All right.
God, big men needs to take responsibility for their actions.
I say that all the time.
You know, it is better your time in politics, if you feel that you cannot take it anymore, power gracefully.
Yeah.
Be a man. Keep your integrity intact. That's how I see it.
Thank you, caller. All right, my brother.
Hold on, Champion.
Okay, I thought you said that's all.
No, to the gentleman who talk about something going on in South, and they better look out. It's not good for them.
Something going on where? We missed you. Something going on where?
In Castry South.
Okay. Okay.
Because you cannot tell me, Champagne.
Yeah.
You had an activity Sunday. You have one Wednesday, and you had one Thursday back to back.
Yeah,
something is not right somewhere.
Yeah, he's running scared.
Something is serious going on. You know, have faith, Minister. On Sunday, the detractors and the doubters will see the might of Castry South and some guy Joseph.
All right. Thank you, my brother. All right. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Minister.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. I am responding to the gentleman who spoke, the one who just spoke a while ago, who said that the Prime Minister is not popular, or he was more popular in 2000.
He has to be a madman. This man, he doesn't know anything.
Let me tell you, in 2016, there were so many doubts about the Prime Minister. Remember the rumors about his father did not support him, and a lot of things.
All kinds of nonsense.
Even I, during that time, I was advising persons to support Stephenson King because we know him. We do not know the Prime Minister, and we heard so many things about him. But after, I'm not saying 5 years, because the man had 2 years, almost 2 years to leave this whole coroner matter, plus the opposition, which became a major stumbling block. And the gentleman has served with distinction. The work the man has done can be equated to about the 15 year or the 15 years of the other side.
Oh yes,
I think
definitely.
they're judging the man as if he has been there for 25 years.
Them, Kola, this Prime Minister is twice as popular as he was in 2016. I can tell you that.
In my side, he is a very popular man, and I talk about popular, not in the fact that everybody likes him, but because of what he has done.
Exactly.
So Kola,
yes.
Permit me to say this. I want people to play a scenario before. So people felt that Minister King, maybe because he was Prime Minister before, it's difficult for him because it's almost like you are demoted from being the Prime Minister, and now you have to function as a minister under another leader, another Prime Minister. We really think that in a scenario that Kenny Anthony can serve under Philip J. Pierre as Prime Minister? You know, these are... So that's why I tell people, I don't pretend things. I ask the obvious, legitimate questions. Ask anybody in Viewfort South. Ask any Labour Party supporter in this country. Not even Ernest Hille will serve under Philip J. Pierre as Prime Minister.
That is a fact.
Far less for Kenny Anthony, who has been a free-time elected Prime Minister. Now let's compare the scenarios.
Can I say, and let me get off the line?
Yes, go ahead.
Let me just say, and get off the line.
Yeah.
I think Mr. King also has been a little unfair, because I am remembering leading up to the 2016 election, I did not see him being able to inspire any hope to win the election. And I think even he would admit that we could have lost the election if he had remained at the helm. I saw a new energy, a new wave, a renewed energy when the current Prime Minister took over the leadership. I never thought he would have won. I did not even stay up to listen to the count because I was just expecting that the loss next day. When I got up next day to hear he won, I was actually surprised.
Yeah.
So I think Mr. King should admit the fact that then, I don't know for now, but then, you would not have been able to win, because if all this Richard Frederick, there's Uski, there's Jennings Compton, a lot of demands were made, there was Super 8, and there's quite something happening. So we had enough going on among ourselves to distract us. And I think when you got this renewed strength, I think you should have seen it as a positive, and he should not have taken it in the manner in which he has taken it. And I'm very, very happy that he is left. Because for quite a while, I think he has been more an annoyance and a nuisance. Because leading to the 2016 election, I was at the place when he came at Babono, and he was in an air-conditioned vehicle hiding, and the people were deflated. And when I saw how things were so deflated, I left. I went back home. While I was at home, not too far from the place, I heard some shouting and screaming. I heard he surfaced. People cried. People were emotional. And he's doing the same thing again. This year he came back doing the very same thing, as though the man is suffering from some low self-esteem, like he's looking for attention. I don't know who he wants to, I don't understand. So I'm happy he has left. If he comes back, I'm not saying I'll accept him, but don't allow him to do this thing again.
Thank you, Colin. Well
you
said.
very
Well said.
much.
All right. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon, Champion. How are you?
I'm doing good.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Minister Guy Joseph, how are you, my
I'm doing well.
Okay, yeah. Champion, I just want I want to commend you for being on the television and of course doing some campaigning at this crucial time.
Yeah, I'm here 5 hours now.
We need some ads on the other television stations as well, because we want to reach as many people as possible.
You think they will play it, Colin? You think they'll play them, even if they get paid?
You pay for the ads, they want the business. So, I mean, they have a choice. Either they get the money or they forfeit the money.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, for the gentleman who said that the current government doesn't have the capacity to win this coming election, I would like you to play Philip Pierre's position on tourism in that interview that he had for this gentleman to see, because obviously he's watching the show.
Yeah,
and to see what he thinks of our mainstay and our main contributor to our economic development in St. Lucia. The guy literally said he does not understand the impact of tourism on our economy.
Kola, are you surprised by any stretch of the imagination? You remember that Kenny took a young person in Menisa Rambali, removed the portfolio from Philip JP and made Menisa Minister of Tourism?
Not just a young person, you know, a novice, a total novice.
Didn't know anything about it.
Exactly, and put him in Pierre's position and put Pierre in commerce. And actually, when you go through the commerce on commerce on the Pierre, there is absolutely nothing that happened in commerce of any significance on the Philip J.
I mean, if you are to compare, you remember, Kola, I said on the program that Bradley has been the best Minister of Commerce, and the next day we were in Parliament and Pierre took offense to that. Bradley Felix has done so much, not for just business, you know, for small businesses in this country. We've never had so much concession for the small private sector businesses in St. Lucia as we've had under Bradley Felix.
Exactly.
That's his first time, huh?
First
time. Do you think that the Labour Party would ever think of unemployment insurance or unemployment benefits for NIC to update the legislation and the NIC Act to include unemployment benefits?
You remember they objected to National Provident Fund when it was first established?
Exactly.
The farmers today, Caller, let me remind the people, all the farmers who are on the breadline, after all of these years, you know, when Sir John was trying to put a pension scheme together for the farmers, you know it was the Labour Party that opposed that and incited the farmers to say, Sir John want to take your money and this and that. Everything this Labour Party has done is detrimental to the betterment of St. Lucia.
Now today these farmers are now retiring, and let me tell you something, those who have already retired, like my stepfather, there's nothing. Had he not worked elsewhere, he wouldn't have a pension today. You know, had he relied totally on farming. You know, and whose problem would it be but our problem, the children?
Yes, sir.
It would be our problem. You see, so when these guys are saying, put the people first, which people they put?
Well, they consider themselves people, so they are people, so if you want to put people first,
when you tell me you're going to grab a whole lot of recycled politicians and bring into your party and think you're hurting the UWP, what do you think you're doing? You take fellas like Baldus Raymond coming back to you after you throw him out. You have fellas like the guy who's running for Central now.
Oh yeah, Richard.
I mean, when you look at the things that a member of the party said to him and they said to each other, and you look at these kinds of things, and you're hugging this man now.
You know who this thing is playing for a fool?
It's insane.
This thing
these
is
are
not
the people they're talking about when they say put the people first. They're talking about their own people, not the public of St. Lucia, not their supporters, because they've done nothing for the supporters. Let me tell you something. While Pierre was a minister of government, he had no time for Castries. What did he do for the people of Castries? What did he do for the constituency? Nothing.
All right, caller, thank you. Thank you very much.
Nothing of significance.
Thank you, buddy.
So, I mean, we need really to play some of these videos, so let the people see.
Amen.
And we should make some ads with those videos, you know, and put on the other stations.
Okay, thanks a lot, buddy. All right, have a good one. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Champagne.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to the minister.
Good afternoon.
And Mr. E.T., how you doing? Good show, man.
It is there.
Guys, I'm very, very, very upset. And not only I that's upset about the Honorable Stephenson King, to all due respect. But I could recall when Sir John made a return to the political arena, Mr. Stephenson King was the chairman of the United Workers' Party. The caretaker on the ground was Sibel Snack. And the guy at the time representing Northeast Castries was Mr. Jean.
So, that's just, yeah.
I made many trips to the party headquarters, where it was by Lira Supermarket. I used to go to this lady called Miss George, the secretary of the party. Stephenson King was my good friend then, and I used to encourage him. Because when Von Lewis lost in fact, when Von Lewis went up, I did went up and support the St. Lucia Labour Party, because Von Lewis had, I don't think he could have governed. But the reason why I supported the Labour Party is because the UWP under Von Lewis was not ready yet. And a number of United Workers' Party supporters did vote the Labour Party and give them the 16-1 mandate. But let's move away from that. When Sir John made his return, as I said, I went to the party walking up and down for 6 months. My work was cut out for me because I was cleaning Active Hill and City Gate for 3 years at no cost. People thought I was getting money. Then I told the guys, well, boy, we have to get a candidate, but we'll have to bring back Steve as the representative. Then they agreed. And they tell me that's a good thing and why I think he should come back. I said, but the Football League in Leclerc, it was Steve that started that. And they say, oh, yes, man, yes, man. So I spoke to him. He always telling me, well, you know, he's chairman, but relax. You know, Sir John will look at it and stuff like that. Yes, there was a survey carried out. Mr. Guy Joseph, you should know about that. It was Jean, Sibyl Snack, and Stephenson King. The survey came out in the poll. Stephenson King was leading by 80%. And then Sibyl Snack was not even in the fray. Even Jean was second. So I am saying, I have put in a lot into this, and then he went up. But he had his converses early times. Steve is a politician, I respect that. He sent those guys there. Lately, when the bell was almost there to be, you know, where the election was going to be called, Steve told me, you're not coming on board, you're not coming on board. I say, I know what I'm doing, hold on. In October I came, we were making the wrongs, and people in Odlum City, and there's a place by Union Side, Amandale, we used to go all there. Irving John, the former mayor, was the first. When the converses was moving from house to house, they were not welcome, and the people of Cowley and the surroundings could tell you that. Then I say, what? They want to see you all, and you all have the list. I tell Steve, well, let me go to the houses, guys. Talk. Hello, hi. Oh, yeah, I saw some people there, but I just know the people is you. I know Mr. Lenny. Come on in, man. Where's the rep? I said, he's coming, man.
Now, caller, I've told you, you need to come and do a show with me, because the minister will have to take some more calls.
I'll have to come on this show and
you need to do a
that.
show, because...
Say,
yes, all right. Thank you. Whenever you're ready.
Respect. With all fairness, with Steve, we were friends. Man, I'll have to come on the show.
Yes, all right. You could call me next week. We'll have a program, okay?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, beautiful. So the minister has another 10 more minutes. Let's see if we could do 20 calls. Good afternoon. Hello? Good afternoon. Hello, I could hear you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Go ahead, caller. Don't listen to your phone. Just talk to us. We could hear you.
Oh, okay. Hello, good afternoon. I want to talk to the minister.
The minister is having you, darling.
Okay, that's the first time I'm calling.
Oh, I'm giving you the big belly.
I want us to talk about our country.
Caller, go
our
ahead and talk.
country and the development.
Yes, darling.
Okay, so is there anything in particular you want to be highlighted?
Yes, I want us like give us free water, give us free things, a lot of free things.
You want free things?
So, caller,
Like-
that is not possible. So anybody who's promising that, everything has a price. So if people want to make you believe that they can give you this, they can give you that, then if everything is free, then nobody will work in the country.
Exactly. And where
So
does the
if
country-
nobody is working, how are you going to get the water? And how are you going to get the other things?
Exactly. Because some people have to have the water available to you. Caller, do you work? Hello?
No.
Have you ever worked?
So let me say to you,
Yes.
caller, let me say to you, in the 5 for 5 that the Prime Minister highlighted, for people who are poor or who are at a certain income level, a certain percentage of their electricity bill will be paid. A certain percentage of their water bill or a certain value of water will be paid for them. They'll be given, their healthcare insurance will be paid for by the government. But everything cannot be free. So that is why if the government is going to pay $100 on the electricity bill, if your bill is going to be $125, then you will have to pay the $25. If the government is going to pay $50 on your water bill or $40, then if your water bill goes above that, then you would pay the difference. For the people who are unemployed, the indigent, the poor, the pensioners who receive a certain amount of pension, the single mothers, their children, their children will get books, uniforms. When we say books, the e-book, the uniforms and the meals at school, all of that will be paid for by government. But it cannot be done for everybody in the country. Because I don't think that I should be entitled to these things because I work for a salary. The other persons, so we are doing things to target. And in the first term, we gave 5 to stay alive. This time we are offering 5 for 5, which is the 5 areas that the government has highlighted that they are going to make sure. So unemployment insurance or benefits, which means that if you have a job and you lost your job, for the period of time that you are down until you get another job, you are going to get some compensation. So, I mean, that is a brilliant plan that this United Workers' Party government has in place to benefit the people of St. Lucia. So you will get some things, but you cannot get everything for free.
Agreed, caller? Okay.
Start right now.
All right. Thank you. All right. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Minister.
Good afternoon.
Interesting program, really interesting. However, I just wanted to divert a little bit with persons who cannot come to the voting area, where you have the aged, the elderly, persons who are not able to come out but who would like to vote. Do you all have things in place for persons like that? Have you all gone out to find out persons who are in and need to come out to vote? Because I'm not hearing that at all. You know, persons who are unable, I'm not hearing that. I'm hearing about able people. But persons who are not able,
no,
aged.
In my constituency, I can tell you we have everything. We have from stretchers to wheelchairs to whatever is needed. We even we have buses specially designed to be able to pick up people and take them. I can tell you, I have an amazing team working with, and hats off to these people.
Okay.
They have everything under control when it comes to election day, who we have to pick up, where we have to pick them up, what time. And so I can tell you my network is in place. and we are ready and set for election day.
And Paula, if I could add on that, most of that type of system, most of the constituency branches have that locked in, and I've seen it throughout the years.
You sure of that? Because we just cannot leave anything unturned.
I understand.
No stone unturned.
That is
you
true.
see, right now, straight ahead, positively, no stone unturned.
Yes.
Wonderful.
I
And
agree.
both of you have a good day.
Thank you, darling.
Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend. Bye-bye. Yes. And that is a great point the caller is bringing across. But I could tell you throughout the years, I've seen it on election day, people have been transported.
Let me tell you,
in
when
the
I
best
see
of
some
ways.
of the people, my conversers and my agents, my 100 yards, my runners bring out to
Yes.
vote, I myself would not go and take these people.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of stuff. Stretchers, wheelchairs.
But you know, and some of these people, there's a lady I remember in Bexon, and they had to be voting upstairs.
Yeah.
And when she reached there, they did the steps. They said they could not bring her up. She could not vote. An elderly lady. The lady broke down and started crying.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
She said she wants to vote.
Yeah.
She has to vote. And they had to put her on a chair, and 4 men had to carry her up
That's
the
amazing.
steps as best as they could to
Yes.
go and vote.
Yeah.
And that is why I'm hoping that this time the electoral department will take all of these things into consideration, because our differently abled people should never be
Have that,
deprived
yeah.
of the right to go and vote,
Yeah.
because the buildings that are being used are not designed specifically
Yeah.
to meet these handicap
I agree.
requirements.
Thanks for holding. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Champagne.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Minister.
Good afternoon.
Okay, Champagne.
Yes, sir.
When Sir John Camden came back, who did Stevenson King support in the rally?
Well, I know he favored Von Lewis at the time. I remember watching start down in Sufre.
Now, Morella Joseph. Who messed up Morella Joseph?
Well, you trying to make me put out all the business.
No, I just telling you.
You know who, you know everything.
Okay.
So why
now,
you asking me?
Champagne and Mr. Minister, when that person called and said that our current Prime Minister is not popular, for argument's sake, let's say yes, he's not popular.
Well, that's not even supposed to be repeated.
I would not, let me,
Yeah, that's not supposed to be repeated.
Can I say something here?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we are falling directly
To the
into
trap.
the trap
Yes,
that
yes.
is being set
Yeah,
for
yeah,
us.
yeah.
So let me say to you, Stevenson King is no longer a candidate of
That's
UWP.
right. That's right.
He should not be the subject
I
of
agree with that
discussion.
100%.
No, I'm not making it
Hold
up.
on, caller.
Yeah.
The Labour Party is deliberate. When they said they had a plan, I don't know whether he's part. If you realize what I've been doing, I've been sidelining discussions about him. That is not the focus. The focus is we have an election to win.
That's right.
This is an election we are going to win.
That's right.
And I want us to put that behind us. The gentleman has his right, his freedom of choice.
Yes.
Even God respects that.
Yeah.
He's made his choice. He's no longer our candidate. We have a new candidate.
Yes.
Let's focus on the job that is before us. And when Labour Party people say they're foolishness,
Yeah, we shouldn't even repeat
must not come back here and repeat it.
Agreed.
There's no value. Let's say, we cannot let's say. The Prime Minister today is the most popular person in St. Lucia.
That's right.
And that is it. So don't ask me, no. I don't want us to be repeating the nonsense that is being perpetuated by the Labour Party. So
I
they
agree.
set up their things. Let us, that's why I don't come back and say what people say. I focus, I have new ideas, I present them.
I agree.
Mr. Minister, what I was about saying, before you butt in, okay, right now, our Prime Minister, Alan Michael Chastney, has been recognized worldwide, and a lot of the current world leaders is taking pattern after Mr. Chastney. And when people will talk nonsense about popularity, tell them which one of the prime ministers that came before Mr. Chastney that has made a mark worldwide.
So caller, let me tell you about unpopular prime ministers. Kenny Anthony.
#1 in the world.
By how much did he win his seat?
By a couple hundred votes.
Okay, so for a free-time prime minister to win his seat against a candidate that did not even go out there and campaign as much as he could. So at the end of the day, I mean, people talking about, who talking about Philip J. Pierre?
Yeah.
So I am not engaging in this. Like, we have an election that we are going to win.
That is right.
Because the people of St. Lucia have seen the performance of this government.
Amen.
No, but
this prime minister has done more work than any other prime minister in a 5-year period. And I can challenge that. I always tell people, the great Sir John had his limitations. So Alan Chastney has his limitations. It took Sir John years to build himself up, to build the reputation that he had. So we cannot expect that Alan Chastney will get to the level of a Sir John in one term in government.
Exactly. Right.
Okay? It takes time because people have to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. You have to deal with all of the aspects of life. But if I had the opportunity of serving a short stint with Sir John, I had the opportunity of serving not in the capacity of government, but close to government with Dr. Kenny Anthony. I was president of the National Council on Public Transport. I had supported Menisa as the candidate. So I was close enough to the discussions of government. I was on the Road Transport Board from 1995, from the days of Sir John and Gregory Avril as the minister. So I go back a long enough way in government to understand a lot of the intricacies of government and what was happening. So when you see what Alan Chastney has been able to do in 5 short years as Prime Minister, it is nothing short of remarkable.
Yeah, because, Mr. Minister, what I was about saying, if you see the achievement of our current Prime Minister, no matter how you want to say, okay, yes, Sir John, well, I can say Sir John alone. And after Sir John, nobody has been Prime Minister or a leader of one of the parties has never come so close to Alan Michael Chastney being a leader. Because when we take from the Caribbean to America, to England and to Germany, everywhere in the entire world, this man has made an impact. And this man has never left St. Lucia and come back empty-handed. Because I can tell you, I have information like when other people used to go overseas and represent St. Lucia, they were just going for fun. But Mr. Chastney, when he leaves St. Lucia and he go overseas, he go in and beg and make sure he get things for his island. So therefore, when people talking nonsense, I hate to hear people talking nonsense about my Prime Minister, because Mr. Chastney will go down in history, as I always say, as the best Prime Minister St. Lucia ever had. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. Now, we only have another 8 minutes. Hello, good afternoon.
Champagne will cut off the calls. I'll give my closing remarks. So
all right, so that's last one. Hello, good afternoon. Your final caller.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
Mr. Minister.
Good afternoon.
What is so sad about this show that I listened to today is the caller, I think 2 callers before the last, the young lady. Did you hear the question she asked?
But caller,
and there was somebody in the background feeding her. That is so sad, and I know that question came out from the operative of the Labour Party.
No, but caller, look at the positive. So it's what you look for in life that you get. So here's the positive side. She asked for things for free, and she gave me an opportunity. Hold on. She gave me an opportunity to be able to explain what the government is doing in the 545. So,
and that's what I loved about you, Mr. Joseph.
So we cannot, let me tell you.
Let him explain, let him explain, caller.
What I want us to do on these programs, because we are not like the other people. We have to respect other people's views.
Yes.
And that's how they see things. That's the level at which they operate. That's why when Labour Party operatives call me, I beg them to stay on the line and engage in a discussion.
Yeah, but they run away.
But they will not. They will drop a line and they will run because they are cowards. And it's not just they are cowards, they have no substance to be able to engage. Because when truth is on your side, you have nothing to worry about. And truth is on the side of the United Workers' Party. So let us not be... when a negative call comes, let that drop. We cannot make negative calls the subject of discussion. Pretend like that never happened and move on to the positive things that we are doing as a government.
Because there are a lot of positive stuff that has taken place.
Thank you, Mr. Joseph. You hit the nail on the head. You went where I wanted to go. So, the people, the supporters, the majority of the supporters of the Labour Party, I have always been saying that they best don't educate them because they are afraid to educate the people.
Yeah.
They know if they do that, they will not get, according to Mr. Bermuda, they will not be on the ballot sheet.
Yeah, they don't want to...
If 1% of these people base have to get that form of education, one base, just to educate them, Labour Party will be eliminated out of our politics.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Because it's sad to hear the young lady calling and asking for, give us things for free.
The same thing I told you not to do, and you just told me you understood what I said, and you going back to the same place.
No, but Mr. Joseph, I felt so hurt, you know. I felt so hurt when I heard she asked that question.
Yeah.
You
all right, caller. Thank you, darling.
But anyway, I like the way you answered it, and I just had to call to say.
All right. Have a great weekend. All right, callers. I see my lights are still blinking, but the minister has to run, so we will not be doing any more calls. Sorry about that.
I just want to touch a couple of points before I leave here. What the UWP is experiencing today is not new to us.
No, no, no.
I came into a UWP that was in turmoil in 2006. There was not the semblance of a structure of a party in place. And that's the difference that people need to understand. Some people come on board when things look good, and that's why I have a lot of regard and respect for people of both political parties who weather the worst storms, who stay when things are not good, and who stay when things are good. You manage this. So I came into UWP in 2006. We were promised money to run the campaign. We never got the money. And that's why I highlighted how I financed my campaign in 2006. There were people who offered me money to run the election. I did not take the money. Because you know what? I didn't want to owe them when I came into government. I've run 3 elections.
Yeah.
I'm in the 4th election. You see the ordinary, regular people every day, they give me their bus for free. They give me their trucks for free. They go out and put flags and posters. They make flags themselves. Some of them I don't even have to buy the cloth.
Yeah.
They make their contribution. That is why as the rep I can go out there and I fight every day to give them a little job. I cut up my projects because if I was taking the money from the big contractors to give, then I would have to give the contractors back all of the jobs. big and small. You saw how it happened on the Labour Party. We cannot pretend that we were not here the last 5 years. There was one set of trucks on the road for 5 years. This 5 years on the UWP, every trucker, and you know, I was so pleased. You know, in one of my motorcades, the Bedford truck I always talk about was in my one of my Bedford truck from Odson. I am saying to us in St. Lucia, let us open our eyes. This is not Paul. Pierre can eat well, Chastney can eat well. The politicians can eat well enough. We have to ask ourselves, who is best placed in St. Lucia today to continue the good work that is started? If I use my constituency, all of the projects that I have started, the Odsa HRDC, the recording studio in Wavin Poisson, the
Bexo Market,
the Bexo Market, the HRDC in Forestier, the indoor facility at Bexo, the Mac Road which Reno has just started, and the same people who say he's first start that doing all the work. Who's doing my road in Mac? Reno. Who's doing my road in Badney, which has already started? Nationwide. You see, but conveniently they will pick on Fresh Start because we are from the same area.
Right.
But that is what happens with the Labour Party. So the 60 students that are waiting tuition payment in September is dependent upon UWP winning this upcoming election. All of the programs for the laptops, the refurbishing of schools, the modernizing, converting Sa'afa into a full-fledged university. All of the works that have started under the UWP, the completion of projects like the Mikud Health Center, the water projects, the roads. You know, we have many more roads that have not even started under the program of road rehabilitation in St. Lucia because there's a shortage of material, a shortage of stone, cement, and everything. So, St. Lucia, you have to look at what Prime Minister Alan Chastney has done for the last 5 years in the most trying circumstances. And you have to ask yourself at this point in time, because when you start with a new government, they have to start everything all over.
And stop everything.
They will stop everything and they will have to restart everything. And you know, when you start and you stop, to restart is more difficult. And think of the last 5 years of Labour in government. A declining economy, an increasing unemployment number, no revenue collection in the country. The government could not raise money. The proposed cut to public servant salaries, all of the negatives were associated with the Labour Party. Alan Chastney came in and in 3 years had turned things over and put the country on the right path until COVID hit us. And he has done a remarkable job in the management of the economy and the handling of COVID to balance the two.
That's right. That's right.
In a situation like this, we want to make the issue, if one person is uncomfortable, and that is your decision, we cannot allow ourselves to be distracted. And I was saying, that's not my first experience in UWP of this. We went through 5 years of turmoil after the death of Sir John.
That is right.
We did not know if we would be in government or if we were not in government the following day. I don't want Flabos to forget that. It's a dark period in our history, but we cannot pretend that it did not happen. And who was the leader then? Who are the people fighting to overthrow the government at the time? These are the people who have teamed up today.
Yeah.
And Flambos, y'all don't see that as a blessing from God? I see it as a blessing. I remember, even while Sir John was leader, and had emerged as leader at the, was it the convention in Soufrière?
In Soufrière, yeah.
That there were moves afoot to undermine Sir John.
Yes, yes. Wires were pulled.
So you think the double discussions is new? The double discussion is not new.
Tell them.
When we came from meetings at the war room, upstairs the building in the boulevard, I know the group of people who went up the Mon to meet with a leader who had been displaced. And all the maneuverings that was taking place behind the scenes. Now people will not like me for these things. You know why? Because they'll tell me, you have a big mouth, you come in, you saying this, you saying that. But I've been there. I know what was happening. I know the persons, when it didn't look like UWP was organized, who said they were not running the seat, while persons like me, new, fresh, had thrown myself 100% into this thing. And when the momentum built up and it looked like UWP had a chance, you remember we eventually had a legal challenge.
Yes, sir.
In Castries North.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't want Flambos, and I'm speaking to Flambos. We don't tell you everything because we know some of you, your hearts are not strong enough to take all of that. But you have a set of representatives who shield you from all the things that happen behind the scenes. We take the blows for you, but your party is in good hands.
That's right.
Your government has capable leadership. And I'm not afraid. I'm not a leader in the party in the sense of being an elected leader. We have two deputy leaders.
Yes.
We have the Prime Minister, who is the political leader. We have Minister Ezekiel Joseph and Minister Gail Rigobert, the two deputy leaders. There's a chairman. You heard the rumors. Chairman and deputy chairman resign. All of these false information to get you to panic and to worry. Do not panic. Do not worry. The UWP is as solid as it can be.
Stronger than ever.
So I don't want you all to be disheartened. I don't want you all to worry about things. I know that you are concerned because this is your party and this is a gentleman that we love. But people are married for 50 years and they divorce.
That is right.
They divorce, they separate, and they go their ways. That's why I tell you, I'm not going to speak bad of him. I'm not going to say, there are lots of things that I can say that I wasn't pleased about, but it is what it is.
Let's move on.
I've heard rumors about me not implementing projects. Everybody's projects in my ministry are implemented. And they don't have to come from me. There's a system in place for the implementation of the projects. But I'm not speaking to this because I know that the UWP is in a good place. And I know the UWP is going to win the upcoming election.
Too. Win and win convincingly.
So it's the people who have to make the decision. Flambos, do not be disheartened. All of that is part of the plan, and note what I'm saying. This is part of the plan of the Labour Party. They cannot win fair and square. They always talk about, up to today, they walk out of Parliament whenever the present Governor General walks into the Parliament. Why? Why do they do that? What is the reason they have given? Is because they felt he betrayed the Labour Party. He betrayed the trust of the people. 30 years ago, and the article, they know what was done to him. all of them in the Labour Party knew what was done to him. Because the article, he who is crossed, he who is double-crossed crosses, is there. It's in the Star newspaper. Everything is there to be seen.
That's right.
So at the end of the day, I tell people, maintain your standards. Be consistent. So you, on one hand, you are against people when they do that, but you encourage others to do it to benefit you.
When they do the same. Yeah.
But these are double standards.
Of course.
Mwen vle di yo, sa poko lapli pou mouye flambo. Lapli
Lapli
sa pa sa mouye flambo.
Yes, yes.
Flambo is solid and as strong as ever.
That's right.
They say a chain is as strong as its weakest link. Now the links are stronger. That's how I see it. And I believe, and I'm convinced, that we are going to have an overwhelming victory in this upcoming election. The energy I see from Flambos, and if anybody have any doubt about Flambo winning this election, look out on Sunday. Because we are too big to have one motorcade, so we have to split it in two.
Yes, yes, yes.
One West Coast and one East Coast. And you will not know which one is bigger. So, Flambos, that's for you. Don't be distracted. Let's bury this matter.
We need to bury this.
And let us win this election in a manner where this will be history.
Amen.
Thank you to everyone. Castries Southeast. We are assembling by the Methodist Church. That's next to my house. For all those who say, I don't live in Forest Hill, I want to let them know that the motorcade starts from by my house.
That is right.
And then we do a quick drive around the constituency and we heading down the East Coast for this grand motorcade.
All right.
I look forward to seeing as many of you out. I know you've been asking for your shirts. The shirts will be available. So if you don't get it before you come up, you can come with your regular shirt and you will be given a UWP t-shirt on the day when you get there. The vehicles are organized. Everything is in place. All you have to do is turn out.
That's right. Be present. Thank you, Mr. Minister. Thank you, St. Lucia. And it is now 5 minutes after 3. Don't forget, this coming Monday, the minister has a special guest on the program inside Castries Southeast. He did not make the announcement of who it is. You want to make an announcement, Mr. Minister?
No, I'm not going to make an announcement, but it's going to be a program with a difference. We are going to deal with some very personal issues and some very emotional issues. And you know, it's going to be a program from the heart, not a program so much from just what people feel and what they hear and things like that. So Monday promises, because that may be our program before the last on before the election.
That's right. That's right. We have this coming Monday. We probably may have the one after that, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. And we have been here a few weeks, Lucia. So thank you once again for tuning in this afternoon. And St. Lucia, I am now going to be turning you on to the man ET411, and we want to say a special thank you this afternoon, and thank you very much for tuning in. See you. Don't forget tomorrow morning, the man by the Lionel Ellis.